Repair a fuel line in a car. A fuel line is an important part of a vehicle as it is used to deliver the fuel from one part to another, as in bringing the fuel from the storage tank to the vehicle so it can be used. A fuel line is usually made of reinforced rubber so that it will be durable and to avoid cases of splitting. Of course, because of the nature of the fuel line's function, it is imperative that any fault with the fuel line should be addressed quickly and efficiently. You do not want to have any gas leakage that could pose and progress into more serious problems. A car's fuel lines might develop holes or leaks when the rubber rubs against the metal underneath the automobile. Anything metal will do damage, but usually it is the frame rail that causes severe rubber damage. The friction of the metal rubbing against the rubber is what causes the leak. Sometimes fuel line fittings have fault and cause leaks if it was cross-threaded on the onset. A leaking fuel line needs to be replaced rather than just repaired because if you cut out damaged parts and replace these faulty fittings it might not fit snugly or it might not be mounted, as it should be. If you want to repair a fuel line in your car, then first you have to prepare the things you need and your working area. Ready your safety glasses, drip pans, steel wrench, open-end box end wrench would work, a new fuel line to replace the old, a flat-tipped screwdriver, and replacement fittings. Once the materials and tools are ready, secure the pans underneath the fuel line connection and beneath the leaks. Take a precautionary measure and wear safety glasses. When you have your safety glasses, inspect the fuel line to see the extent of the damage. If your car is too low, then you would need a hydraulic jack to raise up the vehicle on a level that is just high enough for you to be able to go underneath on a creeper. Take your wrench to loosen the fuel line connections. Use the wrench and turn the connections counterclockwise. Let all the fuel to drip before you proceed any further. Basically drain the fuel line of fuel. After you have drained the fuel line, you can disconnect the female fitting of the fuel line from the male fitting. Get your flat-tipped screwdriver so you can loosen up the clamps. There are clamps holding the fuel line in place, and these are the ones that you need to take out so you can replace the fuel line. Take out the damaged fuel line, and see where the damage is or where the rubber abrasions are. This is also the time to survey the area and figure out what is causing the damage. If you find the source of the damage, you can fix it so that the new fuel line will not be damaged as well. Check the fuel line fittings before replacing the fuel line. Make sure that it is safe to put the replacement, that there are no sharp edges or any obstruction that will cause any damage later on. Take your wrench again to tighten the fittings. Finally, get your flat-tipped screwdriver and wrench to install the replacement fuel line. Make sure that the fuel line is snugly conforming to the bent area where the old fuel line was.